Hello, welcome to the Potomac View. I'm your host, Nicole from Washington, D.C. The Potomac View is a brand new program produced by a group of Chinese who fled the communist China to the free world. We have set ourselves to the task to share our unique viewpoints, hoping people who are lucky to be born here don't have to experience the disasters that we fled. From the Tiananmen massacre to the Xinjiang concentration camps, from the forced organ harvesting of Falun Gong practitioners to the mysterious disappearance and suicides of multi-billion business tycoons, we understand how communism works and destroys humanity. Indeed, the Chinese people are the biggest victims of communism. The Chinese Communist Party usurped China, kidnapped the Chinese people, and turned China into a modern slave market. But the danger of the communism doesn't stop at the Chinese border. It has now become a global pandemic, threatening everyone's life. The vaccine mandate has now become a growing concern about staff shortage and service disruptions. In the previous episode of this program, we discussed medical freedom. We believe medicine should not be interfered by political power and commercial giants. Indeed, what on earth do politicians have anything to do with medicine? Well, an investigative reporting project by the Business Insider discussed how politicians have profited from the bills they signed in favor of the vaccine manufacturers and the vaccine mandate. In December, Business Insider published more than 24 articles that reviewed the financial incentives behind the vaccine mandate. According to the investigative reporting titled Conflicted Congress, nearly 75 federal lawmakers held stocks in Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and Moderna in 2020. In 2020 and 2021, Congress authorized more than $10 billion to help these drug companies develop and distribute vaccines and forced health insurers to cover the cost of getting that shot. The report indicated numerous members of the U.S. Congress personally invested in industries they oversee. At least 52 members of Congress and 182 senior-level congressional staffers have violated a federal conflicts of interest law, yet they face little consequence or are able to avoid it at all. Enforcing vaccine mandate directly enriches the personal pockets of the federal lawmakers. It is also common for lawmakers to receive money from the vaccine manufacturers and their lobbyists. 2/3 of the members of the U.S. Congress cashed a check from the pharmaceutical industry ahead of the 2020 election. Pfizer's Political Action Committee alone contributed to 228 lawmakers. That's according to a stat article published in June 2021. The stat article also pointed out that Pfizer not only gave roughly $1 million to members of the Congress, but also wrote checks to 1,048 individual candidates in state legislative races. This is a bipartisan phenomenon. It doesn't matter where one sits on the political spectrum. Mao Guo, leader of the Chinese whistleblowers, first publicly denounced vaccine mandate, calling it immoral and unjust. He's the first person to warn the public of the financial ties between Pfizer and the Chinese Communist Party, and has launched a relentless campaign to expose the facts about COVID vaccine mandate through its bi-weekly live broadcast on GTV, often with several millions of live viewers and hundreds of millions of followers. In his live broadcast on November 11, 2020, Mao Guo pointed out that the CCP, along with its close allies in Wall Street, such as Blackstone and Goldman Sachs, are the biggest money influencer behind Pfizer. Vaccine mandate directly enriches the money chest of the CCP and the Wall Street. How can you believe the COVID vaccine developed by Pfizer when its research center is based in communist China and directly controlled by the CCP? Mao Guo said the COVID vaccine developed by Pfizer is absolutely another man-made disaster caused by the CCP. In a press release published by Pfizer in its own official website, Pfizer stated its research center in China and disclosed its partnership with the Chinese research institutes directly controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. Vaccine mandate is powerful because it has got world's two most powerful governments behind it, along with Wall Street and commercial giants with enormous money power and political influence. And they have an army of mainstream media and social media companies working on their behalf to attack and suppress the dissidents. The common people's fight against vaccine mandate is a modern tale of David and Goliath. Money and political power creates Goliath. What's the odds of winning for those without money and power? Mao Zedong, who made himself the single most formidable opponent of the Chinese Communist Party, said, "If you know the power of truth, you won't be intimidated. Fill your sling and fight till the last breath. The odds are with the gods. If a law is unjust, a man has not only the right to disobey it, he's obligated to do so," said Thomas Jefferson, a founding father who served as the third president of the United States. Maybe God put Goliath in front of the people just for them to find the David inside them. From US to Canada, from France to Germany, from Belgium to Austria, from Holland to Italy, from Australia to New Zealand, people from all walks of life are taking to the street, showing the David inside them. President Reagan, who played an important role in ending the Cold War between the free world and the communist camps in Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, said, "In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problems. Government is the problem." Indeed, the Founding Fathers long predicted the problem with the government, no matter the forms. Tyranny isn't unique to the Communist China or North Korea. The Founding Fathers experienced the tyranny of the British Parliament, where a small group of people used the state power to suppress and enslave the majority of the people. President Reagan also warned, "Freedom is a fragile thing, and it's never more than one generation away from extinction. It is not ours by way of inheritance. It must be fought for and defended constantly by each generation, for it comes only once to a people." When asked what sort of government the United States of America will have during the Constitutional Convention in 1787, Benjamin Franklin answered, "A republic, if you can keep it." It appears we have finally come to the point in history where freedom is going to perish unless we fight and keep it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.